Hi there, students. Parity. Okay, parity is a noun. I think it's most usually uncountable, but it could be countable. It means equality, the same, particularly for pay or conditions at work or position, seniority. So the prison officers are demanding pay parity with police officers. So pay at the same level. Or in many jobs, there are different levels. So, yeah, the prison officers are demanding parity of seniority with police officers, so the same. Or the workers in the factory are demanding parity with the pay that other companies give their workers in the industry. Okay, so if there is parity between two things, then they're equal. Yeah, equality for women is demanding parity in all things for them. Very reasonable, it sounds. Maybe we could also use parity for the armed forces. There is parity between the two armies. So notice equality, maybe they have different things, but the level is the same. Okay, so the same effective level. They quite often use this word parity as well to talk about currencies. When one currency, one unit of a currency, is the same as one unit of another currency. So I don't know if there's ever been parity between the US dollar and the euro. Maybe there has. I'm sure somebody can tell me. Parity between the pound and the euro. No, normally the pound trades a little bit higher than the euro, but it could go to parity, to equivalence. Okay, so parity, equality, comparable strength or intensity. We need to adjust the brightness of this light so that there is parity between this light and the one next door to it. Let's see, you can also use parity in computing. I think you have a thing called a parity bit, which just measures if the number of ones or the number of zeros in a string of code is even or odd. And that's a way to check that data has been transmitted correctly. Well, that's parity as well. Apparently also parity was or is a system in the US where they try to keep food security by making farmers earn the same amount that they always earn. There needs parity is a system where they adjust the price of what they sell. They give them a grant or money so that their costs remain the same as they were before on a similar level. There is parity between the two teams. This team has a very good offensive group, whereas the other team has a very good offensive group, and the two equal each other out. There is parity between them. We also have a thing called brand parity. Okay, this in business, this is where two products they're perceived as the same quality and the same function. So I don't know, maybe there's brand parity between Adidas and Nike, for example. Okay, so they do the same thing, they have the same function, and they are competing with each other, but there is a similarity in quality and what they do. So brand parity, yeah, same quality and same function, or at least perceived, because brand name's also important. So parity, equality in amount, equality in status, a similarity, yeah, an equivalence between one or the other, yeah, particularly in currencies. These two currencies are at parity, or maybe the price of platinum and gold are at parity. That's the same level, the same price per gram, or the same price per ton. Okay, so parity, but particularly in pay or conditions or things like that. They are striking for parity. The cleaners, the cleaners in the underground system are demanding parity with the guards who work on the train. So maybe a similar level of status, similar conditions, or maybe of pay as well. Okay, so an equivalent, yeah, the state or condition of being equal. Women are seeking parity in all fields, equality. Yeah, the euro is at parity with the dollar. Yeah. Okay. We also have another completely different meaning. This one's very technical. This is in medicine. Okay. Parity is the fact that a woman has born children. So they're doing research into a link between certain types of cancer and parity. Okay, so maybe if you've given birth, some types of cancer are more common. Also, as well, parity, the number of children born. So the parity rate in China has reduced, or has been limited to one child or to two children. Parity in the third world is decreasing, the number of children per person, per woman. Okay, so parity of an equal value. I want parity with my colleagues. I want to be treated the same. I want the same amount of holiday, the same pay per hour. And this is the idea of parity. Okay, parity is quite a formal word. I think I'd probably give it 7.5 in formality. I think you could use it, certainly use it in it's a good word for finance. Parity, I don't think I would use this in an informal conversation. I think equivalence, equality, the same, something like that. And then the origin, well, it comes through French from late Latin, paritas, which itself comes from par or par, meaning equal, yeah? So parity, equalness. The birth one actually comes from pario in Latin, to give birth, and that exists certainly in Spanish as well. Okay, so parity, sameness. I think this word's probably linked to a parody as well. There's a sameness between the two, but there are some differences. So, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Parity.